So have you noticed the weird new trend in horror? You know, the one where filmmakers grab beloved childhood characters, yank them out of their wholesome little worlds, and toss them headfirst into nightmares? Oh, you loved Winnie-the-Pooh as a kid? Great. Now watch him go on a murder spree in Blood and Honey. And guess who's next? Popeye. Yes, the spinach guy. But instead of flexing his forearms and punching Bluto for Olive Oil's honor, he might be lurking in the shadows, muttering, "I am what I am," before ripping someone's head off. Let's talk about why this is happening, because it's not just about twisted imaginations. It's also about money. Always money. Here's the thing about public domain characters. They're free. Free as in, you don't have to pay a dime to use them. The minute a character's copyright expires, it's open season. Winnie-the-Pooh? Public domain. Sherlock Holmes? Mostly public domain. And now Popeye has joined the club. Filmmakers, especially indie ones on shoestring budgets, love this because they don't have to spend big money licensing a brand new character or creating something original. They just slap an axe in Pooh's paw, call it a fresh take, and boom. A movie people will pay to see out of sheer morbid curiosity. But why horror? Why not a rom-com or a buddy cop movie? Simple. Horror is cheap to make and ridiculously profitable. You don't need A-list stars or expensive CGI. Just throw in some fake blood, dim the lights, and let the screams do the heavy lifting. Plus, horror thrives on the unexpected. And what's more unexpected than seeing Popeye's spinach addiction turn him into a violent lunatic? It's that collision of nostalgia and nightmare that gets people talking and tweeting. The shock value alone guarantees free marketing. Social media does the rest. And let's be real, nostalgia is a powerful drug. People love revisiting the characters they grew up with, but we also live in a time where everything has to have an edge. Fluffy, happy characters? Nah, make them dark. Make them gritty. It's the same reason Disney keeps churning out live-action remakes where everyone looks vaguely miserable. We don't just want to remember, we want to reinterpret. And nothing screams modern reinterpretation like taking Popeye, yes, Popeye, and sticking him in a maritime horror film where he's cursed to become a monster every time he eats spinach. Think about it. Popeye already has the makings of a horror icon. Those oversized forearms? Creepy. The squinting eye and the constant muttering? Unnerving. That pipe hanging from his mouth? Imagine it dripping blood instead of tobacco juice. He's practically begging to be reimagined as some grotesque sea monster. Maybe he haunts Olive Oil, or maybe he's a cursed sailor wandering the seas, hunting for more spinach to keep his cursed powers alive. It sounds ridiculous, and that's why it works. The sheer absurdity gets people talking. Have you seen the trailer where Popeye snaps and goes full berserker on Bluto? It's viral gold. The people making these movies aren't Hollywood big shots. They're indie filmmakers, often funded through crowdfunding or just scraping by on whatever change they can find in the couch cushions. They've figured out a formula. Take a character everyone knows, twist it into something horrifying, and let the internet do the rest. It worked for Winnie-the-Pooh, Blood and Honey, and now everyone wants a slice of that bloody nostalgia-flavored pie. Streaming platforms like Netflix and Amazon Prime are eating it up, too. They're desperate for unique, buzzy content, and this stuff is cheap, fast, and guaranteed to spark conversations. Of course, not everyone's a fan. Some people see these horror adaptations as sacrilege, a kind of cultural vandalism. How dare they turn my beloved childhood hero into a monster? But honestly, isn't that part of the fun? It's like watching a train wreck. You don't want to look, but you can't help yourself. And for every outraged fan, there's someone else who thinks, well, I hated spinach as a kid, so maybe Popeye going full psycho makes sense. This trend isn't going away anytime soon. As more characters enter the public domain, more filmmakers are going to jump on this bandwagon. Sherlock Holmes battling zombies? Sure. Peter Pan as a deranged kidnapper? Why not? Superman's copyright isn't up yet, but give it time. Someone's probably already brainstorming how to turn him into a villain. And while the novelty might wear off eventually, it's clear that this mix of nostalgia, horror, and absurdity is here to stay. So buckle up, because public domain horror isn't just a fad, it's a reflection of where we are as a culture. We love our childhood memories, but we can't resist the urge to mess with them, to make them darker, weirder, and somehow more modern. And if Popeye has to be sacrificed on the altar of edgy reimaginings, well, Pass the spinach.